I have to wait until the streaming software pops up here. I will be with you in a moment. Hold, please. Pretty quick here. It'll do its thing. There we go. All right. Good morning. Welcome to Sunday's Early Morning Intuitive Guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, and I am late. It was just one of those mornings. I forgot to set the alarm. So here we are. We'll do this at this timing instead of our regular timing. So if some of the regulars don't pop on here, there's always the replay. I know. Good morning, Joe Neal. Yep. One of those days I was lifing. So here we are, and we have a fabulous card today. I'm really excited about this card. Hang on, got an itch. The Cottonwoods are doing their thing, and my nose and the Cottonwoods have a very antagonistic relationship. So here we are. Yes, this card. Oh, it's funny. I'm looking at this card and realizing it has dandelions on it, which for some people is the thing. Good morning. Glad you're here, Mel. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for all the fun little icons there. So as people are popping on, let's see. What do I have to say? Oh, one thing I thought about is I haven't for quite some time mentioned that Dave sleeping in. Yeah, sleeping in what, 6:15. What a life. Anywho, I haven't mentioned in quite some time that if you'd rather get these as an email every day, I do send them out as email. So all you have to do is send your email address to me. Just send the word yes to bonnie@empowermentandpurpose.com, and I'll add you to the email list. So then you can watch at your leisure. Not that you can't watch these as at your leisure as well, but some people like it in an email. So I think I don't even know how many hundreds I have who watch it as email, but up to you. Up to you. So let's start with some tapping and some breath. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. And I have to say thank you to those who showed up at the rummage sale yesterday. In through the nose, out through the mouth. It was steady. It was very, very steady, which was good. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And one more deep one. In through the nose, hold, out through the mouth. Sold some interesting things. One was an old fur coat, and a young woman, probably in her early 20s, bought it, and it looked so darling on her. And yeah, most people aren't buying fur at this point, but it's already out there. Let's keep it out of the landfill. Good morning, Nancy. Welcome. Glad you're here. And she just looked adorable in it. So that was a fun sale. Lots of odd little things that walked out the door. Sold a lamp, all kinds of things. So nice to make space. And I think we emptied another 2 boxes into those spaces. So the process continues. What else is there to talk about? Oh, then went to the park with Diane. We had a nice time sitting in the park. Lots of people fishing, lots of kids running around. Far more baby geese. So they must have been hiding them somewhere because there's quite a few now, which is awesome. And they're not so little anymore either. They're probably a handful. So it was fun watching them. Did not see the deer yet. Where are these baby deer? They're out there. We know they're out there. And we were right there at supper time, deer supper time. So eventually they'll show up. Eventually they'll show up. There were people letting their kids chase the geese, which I'm not fond of. I don't think that's a great idea at all. At all. So, um, yeah, every once in a while the DNR truck will stop and go through and check to make sure everyone has their fishing licenses, and I'm sure they would discourage the baby geese being chased. So, we'll see. Card deck for today, the Wild Offering deck by Tosha Silver. And again, this card, I was pondering as I was shuffling, I wonder what it's going to be about today. And I'm like, oh, this fits right in. This fits right in as we're moving forward, as we're up-leveling humanity, as we're moving into much broader dimension than where we have been. The it's all about me stuff is beginning to rot and fall away, and moving into more community-based how do we care for ourselves and others comes up. So first I'm going to show you the back because I always love this. There's Ganesh, the overcomer of obstacles. So if you have obstacles in your life that you're going, I have no idea how to deal with this, Ganesh, call on Ganesh. Ganesh will come up with some ideas for you. But our card for today, and it has some beautiful Luna moths on it as well. Service. Look at that one at the bottom. Isn't that beautiful? I used to find those when I owned the motel. Walk out the front door, and there would be one sitting right on the veranda. Beautiful, just absolutely beautiful and huge. They were as big as my hand. They were just gorgeous. So that was my gift those particular days, finding a Luna moth. But there were all kinds of things to find. Little bitty green toads about this big that would sit on the white PVC railing outside the front of the office. Yeah, that was cool. So service. Let's take a breath. Let it go. Well, let's do 2 just because that felt so good. One more. Let it go. Well, you already saw your fawns. Okay, well, then we pretty soon here, we'll hit the mother lode one of these days. Service. You stop using the universe to try to get what you want and start asking love, capital L, to use you. You offer all and want to be of service. Ironically, many desires become fulfilled without grasping or manipulation. I think many people get caught in that I have to force what it is that I want because they haven't been taught that they will receive. And they may not believe they have value simply because they exist. And therefore, a corollary of that is if I have value simply because I exist, the things I need and want will come my way. I don't need to go stalking the wily whatever to get what I want and need. It'll show up in, say it with me, folks, divine right timing and divine right order. Divine right timing and divine right order. And oftentimes, I think we get the illusion that um, it's not going to show up because divine right timing and divine right order is later than our timing and our order. I want it now. We have a joke in my family that because when my daughter was a toddler, I don't know how old she was, 2, 3, somewhere in that ballpark, we were somewhere and she wanted something. And I said, no, we can talk about that when we get home. And if you want to, help save your money for that, we can do that. And she stopped in the middle of the aisle and she threw her shoulders down and she went, I want it right now, right now, right now. And she just kept repeating. So trying not to laugh because you know how funny that stuff is when it's happening sometimes. We toddled on out of the store and kicking and screaming and throwing the proverbial hissy. And yeah, it'll be a while until she gets to experience it on the other end of that stick because her daughter is 2.5 months, 2.5 months. So it'll be a while, but it'll be interesting. Yes. I remember calling my mother and apologizing periodically as my kids were getting older, calling and apologizing because I was heinous as a child. Yeah. So I want to bring up the Jim Rohn quote that I absolutely love, which is in order to get what you want, help enough others get what they want. That's this whole concept in a nutshell. When you turn your attention to assisting others in getting what they want and what they need, it can open doors for you also. When we feel like we have to come from that place of manipulation or grasping or scarcity, when we come from scarcity, believing that when someone else has more, it automatically means we have less. That also feeds that grasping and manipulation and competition and all those not fun things. All those not fun things. When you open yourself to flow, just even do that. Open your hands. See how that feels. It has a much different energy than when you're like, And I find I tend to avoid things where there's that energy at this point in time. Like if Eileen's basement, oh no, never happening again. When people are in that grasping, I must get what I need, I'll shove someone out of the way to make that happen. If she has more, I have less. No. Yes, be the change you wish to seek. If there's something that's important to you, how can you help make that more available for yourself and for others, right? Obviously, right now, the one that's my axe to grind is housing. Housing, housing, housing. Cities and towns pay all kinds of lip service to. They really want to do some things about housing, yet they don't change their codes, their zoning, so that it makes it easier for developers, large and small, to provide that for that need, right? Come on, people. Wheels of change seem to turn far more slowly than Bonnie timing. Maybe it is divine right timing. It probably is divine right timing, but that doesn't always work in Bonnie timing. So patience was not handed out. I wasn't in the line. I didn't get that very much. So service, being of service. So today, what would be one small thing you could do that would be of service? Do you know someone who's been kind of bumming lately? What about calling them up and asking them out for a meal? What about mailing an actual physical card to someone? Hey, I was thinking about you. Give me a call. Let's go do something. What about um, doing something nice for your neighbor? If you have a neighbor who struggles to get their lawn mowed, maybe you good morning, Joe Bell. Glad you are here. I haven't seen you in ages. Thank you for the sunshine. If you have a neighbor who's struggling to do stuff, maybe you go volunteer to help with that. I Diane was telling me that she has someone who mows her lawn, and the person next door, that the one next door is a rental. Diane owns her home, but the person next door is a rental. And he came over and asked the person who mows Diane's lawn if he would please mow his lawn as well. He works, I don't know if he's in construction or what I think maybe he does, I don't know what he does. Anyway, he said, I am so busy, I can't ever get to it. I have no time to get to it. So they made an arrangement. This was awesome because the guy's got a skid steer and there's an apartment building across from Diane's house. And they were oftentimes plowing their snow into her way. Why would you even think to do that? I'm going to plow the snow out of the apartment parking lot over across by your driveway. So the guy next door who has the skid steer would oftentimes clear her out. Finally, at one point, he went over when he saw the guy do this and chewed him a new one and said, if you do it again, I'm going to shove it all right back into your lot. So maybe not but I guess the guy heard him because he stopped doing it. So they made an arrangement now. Diane's going to continue to get plowed out when she needs to be plowed out, and he's going to get his lawn mowed, and everybody's happy. What kind of arrangements can you make that are like that? It doesn't always have to be monetary. It can be, I'll do something nice for you, and you can do something nice for me, and we have this lovely little arrangement, right? My neighbor next door for a lot of years had a hook over the fence, and when they had excess produce, they'd hang it over the fence for my dad. I thought that was a cool one. Lots of ways that we can be of service. So, what comes to mind for you? What could be something today that you could do that would be of service to someone you know or someone you don't know? That's always a good one, too. Could you go, if you're going grocery shopping today, buy a couple extra cans of something and put them in one of the blessing boxes that are around town? Just taking the time to do something, and we get endorphins off of that. When we do something nice for someone else, we feel good. That's awesome. That's awesome. And so let's talk about the corollary there. On the receiving end, when someone offers to do something nice for you, rather than that weird thing that especially Midwesterners do, oh, no, 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 I'm fine, I'll take care of it. No, just say thank you. Let somebody do something nice for you. That doesn't mean you owe them. There too, we get this very narrow view of this. Well, if they do something for me, then I have to do something for them. No, They do something for me, I do something for someone else, that someone does something for a third person, and around we go. And eventually, again, the universe, through human angels, will provide for that person who did the nice thing in the first place, right? It doesn't have to be a tit for tat kind of thing. So that's a mind stretch for some people. Well, what if they're mad at me because I didn't do something back? It would be their responsibility to say, "Hey, I did this nice thing for you. Could you now help me with this thing?" You know? Again, I'd rather not have it be beholding like that, but whatever. People are responsible for their choices, and people are responsible for getting their needs met through, I believe, opening up to receiving, opening up to receiving. So let's show you the pretty dandelions and the Luna moth, all the fun stuff. So ponder that, roll that around in your brain, see what else you can come up with that might be a great way to be of assistance, such that the universe sees you are open to giving and to receiving and allowing that flow to increase. Have an awesome Sunday. I'm not sure about tomorrow because I have to take someone to a doctor appointment very early. So I'm driving there today to be available, but I'm not sure what time we have to leave in the morning. So we may have a miss tomorrow, but you can always go back and watch one of the previous ones of these because sometimes when you watch it a second time, more awareness has come to you. So, see you either tomorrow or on Tuesday. Have an awesome Sunday. And remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye bye.